Hello, I'm Archibald Chesterfield III, Archie Luxury. I'm a international YouTube celebrity. I'm actually played by a student who went to Oxley State High. I'm played by Paul Pluter. Paul Pluter went to Oxley State High for grade 8 and 9, 1985 to 1986. And it's with much sadness, with a bit of reflection here, I've actually gone back to the old school, and it's very sad to say that it's actually in ruins. The whole school is in ruins. It's a bit of a sad tale, Oxley State High. What basically happened was the school, it opened in 1966, and then, you know, it's one of these suburbs that it's an aging suburb. Oxley's an aging suburb. And by the 90s, Centenary State High had opened up, which was servicing the Centenary suburbs, Jindalee, Jamboree Heights, Middle Park, Mount Omni, River Hills, Westlake. It was servicing that area, and Oxley sort of struggled for numbers. And they turned it into a college. It became Oxley Secondary College. And even that didn't really help with the numbers. Unfortunately, the school closed in 2000. And it's one of these things there. The place sort of, you know, when a building isn't used and people don't come in, it starts to decline. And unfortunately, Oxley State High was no different there. The buildings were never that fantastic. Many of them were quite old. They were in a stage of aging. They were never wonderful buildings to start with. Many of them were cheaply built. A lot of demountable buildings there. And unfortunately, Oxley State High just didn't have, for whatever reasons, it just didn't have the numbers. And Oxley suffered a lot. It had a bad reputation at one stage there. And I got to tell you the truth. I think the bad reputation was exaggerated a lot. Looking back, I wish I had stayed longer there. But it's one of these things. You sort of you go there for a while and then you move on. I actually enjoyed my time at Oxley for the most part. It wasn't a bad school. It wasn't a bad school. The standard of learning, if you wanted to learn, you could learn a lot. It was a multicultural mix. Yeah, sure, there was a lot of you know, a bit of racism in the school and things like that, but if you were broad-minded enough and sensible, this stuff never really clouded your judgment, and it really was a good school. There was a nice environment there. I mean, physically, you're in a valley there. It was a wonderful location, beautiful school grounds. You sort of went into this valley, and it's just like a different world. You're completely a world away from reality. And it's very eerie coming back now, many years later, to Oxley State High and seeing it in a state of disrepair. In the later part of its life, there was a big fire ant explosion, and the grounds were used as a fire ant control center. And a lot of the furniture and school materials were removed before the school closed, and they used the school as an office type complex, a base, and it basically went further and further into disrepair, which is quite sad because it's quite a nice grounds there, and it's sad when you think that, hey, maybe the state government could have turned this into a homeless place or some sort of, they could have done something with it than just let it rot. But I suppose, you know, what's going to happen eventually, it'll probably be developed there. It's a tricky bit of land there. Oxley has a bit of sliding, so I don't exactly know. It'd be lovely if this turned into a park, some sort of parklands here, but it's hard to see that happening. It's a very very sad indication there. I had family who went there in the late 70s, early 80s. My auntie went there and did very well. She got a 980 TE score, and she now is a teacher at Ipswich Grammar. So you know, there's a lot of people who've done well out of Oxley State High, and I can remember I was in the band, Mrs. Falk and the band. It was a great experience. I remember I went on a tour in '85. The band went up to, where did we go? Hamilton Island, Rockhampton. We went for a huge band trip, and that was great fun. Great fun. We had a lot of jazz music in the bus at the time. That was great fun. It was a great experience, and looking back on it, you can't forget that. And it's really sad to see the school in disrepair. Even though I only went there for 2 years, I actually completed my high school education at Kenmore State High. And that school is it's grown and grown and grown. It's turned into a really big school, which is a tale for another video. But looking at OXLEY State High, it's kind of sad to see this. It's kind of funny. You look at the school. You came here. You had rules and regulations. If you didn't have your socks, or they were a bit of a stickler. They went through this stupid phase where they thought uniforms made up for behaviour, and it was conditioning, and if you had uniform, you'd be a good student. And they went through various different phases there, and it was all bullshit, of course. But yes, Oxley State High. It's sad to see it in this condition now. It's very sad to see it in this condition, and I suppose that's progress. That is progress. That's what happens there. Progress. Things move forward. Time waits for no man. Time waits for no man. And in all honesty, there, it served its usefulness, and it's time for the next phase of Oxley State High, the grounds to turn into something else. I'm Paul Pluter, the actor who plays international YouTube celebrity Archie Luxury. Please come along to my channel, the Archie Luxury channel, from a student from Oxley State High. Thank you, and enjoy the video and share it with your friends, please.